Hello you lovely people and welcome. In this video I'll be doing a cold and dark start demo in the Inibuilds T-33 Shooting Star. As you can see, I've chosen the Hellenic Air Force livery and we're sort of at a gloomy-ish Duxford airfield. So let's jump in the aircraft and get it cranked up. So the first thing we're going to do is go around, make sure everything is in the off position before we start, as we don't want to get a bad start or anything to be on that shouldn't be. So we go round to the electrical side here. Start switch is off and covered. Ignition switch off, battery off, generator off, pitot off. Nav lights are in dim position and in the off position. I know it looks like it's in steady, but we can click that upwards. So that's in the neutral position. Windshield defrost off, TACAN off, internal lighting is all off, inverter is in the neutral off position, comms equipment in the middle here. None of it can actually be switched on or off at the moment. It's all automatic once the battery's on. I'm not sure if that will be changed in further updates. Parking brake is on. Emergency fuel switch is in normal. Gang star is off. Come around to the left hand side. Got some guarded switches under here. Anti-ice for the engine is off guarded. Dump cabin pressure off guarded. Starting fuel switch off guarded. Air star ignition switch off and guarded. And the landing / taxi light is in the neutral off position. You can flick it up for landing and down for taxi. The main fuel shut off is in the down and guarded. Throttle is in neutral, flaps are up. Fuselage tank switch is in normal. Wing leading edge tip tanks are off. Our oral switches are in the off position. Oxygen is off and landing gear lever is down. Now we can get things started. So we're going to bring up the EFB and we're going to remove the ladder, remove the pins and the engine covers. Okay, so now we can switch on our battery, our generator. Come over to the left hand side, we're going to grab the fuselage tank switch and switch up into fuse. Now we can actually start the engine proper. Now I'm going to open the cover, grab the start switch. Now we're going to have to move this up twice because it's in the stop position. In the middle obviously is neutral, and then we want to actually start the engine, so we have to go up another step. So 1, 2. Okay, and we're going to wait for the RPM to climb to 9%. When it does, we'll switch on the ignition switch. Down to ignition, switch that on. Once it gets to 17%, we can switch off the starter. Okay, then in neutral position. Okay, and we've got a good engine start. Let the temperatures climb. Excuse me. Temperatures climb, pressures build. Let that settle for a minute. And then next we are going to make sure the communications equipment is all where you want it. So if you want to talk to the tower, dial it in now. Your squawk code on your IFF, do that now. And obviously your nav radio, if you want to tune that in, you can do that now. So after that we are just going to do a quick throttle up to 68% and rapidly throttle down. So we're just going to build the RPMs, let that get to about here. A bit too high. Okay, just let that settle. And then rapid throttle back. Okay, and we're just going to check temperatures, pressures, make sure they come back to a good level. And all looks good. So now you'll notice that the fuselage tank gauge, which this gauge only reads the fuselage tank. Sorry, I'll say that again. Fuselage tank. Put my teeth in tomorrow. So with this aircraft, the engine only feeds off the fuselage tank, and the wingtip, leading edge and wing tanks are all basically there to transfer fuel from. So if we go into the fuel and weight, you'll see that we're 50% pretty much across the board. Fuselage is down 3% since we started, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer some fuel over. So I'm going to come over to my wingtip tank, flick that on, and you'll see that the gauge needle is now rising. I'm just going to wait for that to fill up, and then don't let it linger or forget to switch it off, because the fuel will vent overboard and you don't want that. We're just going to do that quickly. While we wait for that, we'll switch the inverter switch to main, so up. Okay, all lights are going out, which is good. Okay, so we're going to come over and switch that off. We have just under full tank, and yeah, that's all good stuff. So now we can just go around and switch on the bits that we need. So we're going to switch on the pitot heat, we're going to switch the navs to bright and flashing. Windshield defrost we don't really need, it's summer, although it doesn't look great out there, to be honest. In fact, we'll get that canopy down, so I'm going to flick it up into the park closed, let that drop. Okay, all good. Does it start to rain? No. Okay, so we just go around, make sure trim is neutral, which it is. The light is on. Once it comes out of neutral, it will go off. Flaps we want down to 60%. We're going to make sure that the red light shows that it's in transition. So, yep. Okay, so down to 60. Light should go out. Now we can check dive brakes. Light has come on to show it's extended. Light go out and we bring them back in. Okay, so taxi light we can now switch on because we're pretty much ready to start rolling. So in the down position. Okay, just make sure that I've not forgotten anything. Okay, let's zero out the altimeter to AGL for Duxford. That's a bit much. Okay. Check our control surfaces and they're all good. Okay, so we'll take the parking brake off and we'll make our way to the end of the runway. So we're going to throttle up, brake check. Yep, they're working. Stop here. Okay, we can get the canopy all the way down now, fully closed, and lock. Okay, we're just going to switch that over to landing light now in the up position. Okay, so we'll go out and line up. Right. Okay, so it's going to trim nose up ever so slightly. Okay, you can see that the trim is now out of neutral position, as is shown by this light here. Elevator tab, and obviously I can put that back into neutral at any time, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is throttle up, take off. rotate between 110 to 120 knots. Okay, I'm going to rotate now. Gear up. Okay. Start bringing the flaps up. Landing light to the neutral. See if we can break through this cloud. Picked up navigation frequency I hadn't even put in. Apparently we're 98 nautical miles away. Okay, we've broken the cloud at around about 2,000 feet, and it does not look good up here. Okay, anyway, that's cold starting the Inibuilds T-33 Shooting Star. Hope you got something from this. If you got this far, thank you very much, and as always, take care, and I will catch you in the next one.